Philippines holds $26.3 trillion untapped oil deposits. The Philippines is practically sitting on a mountain of gold, with untapped hydrocarbon resources worth $26.3 trillion, the majority of which are discovered in the disputed Spratly chain of islands, more than enough to lift the country out of poverty. Although the oil resources have been here for generations, they have remained unexploited. This is unfortunate since these oil reserves might have been used to help the country thrive economically. The Philippines would no longer need to import expensive oil if the reserves were ultimately tapped. In reality, the country would be an exporter of oil products while also providing a solution to the persistent rise in gasoline prices that occurs virtually weekly. Brigadier General Eldon G. Nemenzo, a retired pilot and former deputy commander of the Philippine Air Force's 3rd Air Division, located in Zamboanga City, conducted extensive research for his thesis while still in the active service at the PS Command and Staff College in Villamor Air Base, Pasay City. He mentioned the Philippines' massive oil deposits, which are discovered in several regions of the archipelago, including the Reed Bank, which is the greatest of them all, and the Mischief Reef in the Spratly Islands or the Calayan Island Group, KIG. The Philippines is like a blind beggar perched upon a gold mountain. There are potentially recoverable hydrocarbon resources of $26.3 trillion inside the country's 200-mile exclusive economic zone, EEZ. This is more than enough to raise the country out of its centuries-long quagmire of poverty and underdevelopment, according to Nemenzo. Other countries, such as China and the United States, may have been lured by the country's vast undeveloped oil reserves. Indeed, China has been actively building infrastructure in the Spratlys, ostensibly to assert control over the disputed group of islands claimed by the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Following the recent finding of oil reserves in the Sulu-Sulawesi Sea, which is within Philippine territory, Nemenzo discovered that the country's hydrocarbon deposits might be worth more than $26.3 trillion. The information acquired by Nemenzo is backed up by results from other sources, such as a report from China's Ministry of Geology and Mineral Resources estimating that the oil resources in the Spratlys might total 17.1 billion barrels. This is greater than Kuwait's 13 billion barrels of oil reserves, making it one of the world's largest oil producers. Following the discovery of oil underneath the sea in the 1970s, the Spratly problem has become a flashpoint. The Philippines, together with China, Taiwan, Brunei, Malaysia, and Vietnam, claim possession of the Spratly Islands. It's past time to update. Former President Ferdinand E. Marcos issued Presidential Decree 1596 in 1978, adding several Calayan Islands into the Philippine claim to these mineral-rich islands. Minerals and polymetals such as gold, silver, iron, and nickel are discovered under the water in addition to oil and natural gas. The Spratlys are also a fertile fishing area, as this writer discovered on a visit to Calayan Island with then Defense Minister Juan Ponce Enrile in 1979. During the interview, Nemenzo emphasized the importance of modernizing the Philippine Armed Forces, AFP, particularly by acquiring multi-role fighters, MRF, equipped with modern weapons to patrol and defend the country's airspace and sea lanes, the latter of which is more than twice as long as the United States. He also stressed the need for Filipino technocrats to lead joint ventures between the Philippines and international corporations in oil exploration in these regions. We shouldn't be in the dark when it comes to managing our resources, added Nemenzo. Bajo de Masinloc, according to the Department of Foreign Affairs, DFA, is an important component of Philippine territory. It is located in the municipality of Masinloc, Zambales Province. The reefs and rocks of Bajo de Masinloc are roughly 124 nautical miles, (nm), from Luzon's nearest coast and 472 nautical miles from China's nearest coast. It is located inside the Philippines' 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone and 200 nautical mile continental shelf. One of the first and most accurate maps of the area, Father Pedro Murillo Velarde, S.J.'s Carta Hydrográfica y Coreográfica de las Islas Filipinas, published in 1734, placed Bajo de Masinloc as part of Zambales. Another map prepared by the Alejandro Malaspina expedition in 1792 and published in Madrid, Spain in 1808 likewise depicted Bajo de Masinloc as part of Philippine territory. It stated, The Malaspina expedition's route to and around the shoal was depicted on this map. It was included in the Atlas of the Philippine Census of 1939.